Hey there everyone, Fratum here with a Linux tip episode 9. This episode is actually more of a VirtualBox tip since we've been doing all our Linux tips in VirtualBox, including the installation of Linux Mint in VirtualBox. There's something I wanted to show you that you might find handy, and basically it's taking snapshots of a working system and then restoring them. So it's actually really easy. And the point of a snapshot is you can restore your virtual machine to a state that it was at a certain point in time. So, for example, say like you're about to install something like maybe a new driver or something, and you're not sure if the system is going to get unstable or not. Well, you would take a snapshot first of your stable working system, and then you do whatever changes you want, and if they end up breaking the system for some reason, you can just restore back to the point where it was still working. So we're in Linux Mint running in VirtualBox, and if you're in full window mode, you probably have a little gray bar like this, but it's probably down at the bottom. I moved mine to the top because I prefer it. And I'm not talking about this taskbar, but I'm talking about there's a little bar up here. You'll see a little line in the video. And when I get my mouse on it, it'll expand. If you're in full screen mode, yours is probably down at the bottom. If you're not in full screen mode, then you'll see that... Oop, I went to the wrong screen. You have options up here. File, machine, view, input, device. So what you want to do is you want to go to machine. And wherever your menu is, whatever the case is, you want to go to machine and you want to select take a snapshot. You give it a name. I like to do the name, sometimes I'll type, like if I'm going to install like Apache or something, I'll do pre-Apache install. Or if I'm just doing a snapshot, I'll do snapshot. So if I'm just doing one just to have one and there's no reason, I would do snapshot and then the date. So Feb 7th, 2016. Just a clean snapshot for a good restore point. The snapshot description is optional. Click OK. It'll take just a few seconds to create the snapshot. And boom, it's done. So the nice thing, I'm going to go back to full screen mode here, just because I like it better. The nice thing about this is that if you do something silly, something bad to your system, you can recover easily. So I'm going to become root. We talked about the sudo command before. If you run sudo space su space hyphen, you will become root, the root user. I'm going to become root. Now, if I did something silly, like say, for example, I went to the home directory and I wasn't thinking straight, and I did rm recursive force fratum. That's my home directory. That's where all my files are. Everything that I use is in that directory. And oops, rm rf fratum. Sorry about that. And now I accidentally deleted it. It's all gone. What do I do? Well, you know, there really isn't much you can do. Is it going to affect my system? Is it going to affect usability? Yikes, I can't run a terminal anymore. Maybe if I log out and log back in, it'll fix it. Log out. Log out. Select my username. Oh no, now it's telling me your home directory is listed as home fratum, but it does not appear to exist. Do you want to log in with the /root directory as your home directory? It is unlikely anything will work unless you use a failsafe session. You can do that. You can log in, but it's not going to work right. I don't recommend it unless you really know what you're doing. So I would hit no, and I'm like, oh, thank God I just did a snapshot before I did that boneheaded mistake of deleting my home directory. So I'm going to shut down my virtual machine by clicking on the up in the right hand corner. You can't see it, my face is on it. But up in the right hand corner there's a little icon that's a circle with a line in it, and that's the power button. Here, let me move me. So right here, and you click and you can do shut down. So now we have a system that's kind of screwed up because we deleted our home directory. So how do we fix it? Well, we go to, normally this is the screen you would see. So go to our Linux install, click on snapshots. You'll see that I have lots of snapshots. The reason I have lots of snapshots is before every episode of Linux Tips, I will take a snapshot in case I screw it up, because I have a place to go back to. And here's our current state. This is what runs when we turn on the computer. But you'll notice that we took a snapshot called February 7, 2016 about 3 minutes ago. Well, we can click that one. Or we could even click on the one from before we installed Apache and MySQL and restore to that one 12 days ago. But I don't want to get rid of that stuff. So we'll go to the one that we did 4 minutes ago. Right click and do Restore Snapshot. Ask if you want to create a snapshot of the current machine state. I wouldn't do that, so no. That could be useful if you want to troubleshoot what happened, but we're not going to do that here. So restore. And now all we need to do is start our machine. And you see, restoring virtual machine, and it says a few seconds remaining. Boom. Now our computer, our virtual machine is exactly the way it was before. Oh, there goes our network got weird, but it's working. Before we deleted our home directory. So now if I run the terminal, look, we have a terminal. We can go, let's see, go to the home directory, LSLA, and there it is, /Fratum. And everything that was in our home directory is now there. So it's like it never happened. Basically backed up in time and said, make the computer look like how it looked like at this point in time. So that's a nice thing about VirtualBox, is if you're running your computer in a virtual machine, you can create snapshots, and there's no limit to how many you can make, and you can restore to certain points if something breaks. This isn't a Linux only thing, so if you're running virtual machine running Windows, or I think you can do some Mac stuff, but it's not quite legal. You can use this feature in any OS that you're running in a virtual machine. So it's called Snapshots, and you can restore them and take them. If we wanted to take another snapshot now, we could by clicking Machine and take a snapshot. And basically that would give us another one in the list. You can also right-click on snapshots when you're in the VirtualBox application, and you can delete them, so that if you have too many and you don't need them, you can right-click and delete them. So that's basically it. I hope you found this useful. I felt that it was something that we should touch on, since most of our lessons have been in a virtual machine, and in case you somehow mess things up, we can easily fix it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more like it, please hit subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful day, and if you're watching the Super Bowl, let's root for the Broncos.